Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
Quote, some things I saw worried me, end quote. Sheriff Javier Salazar breaking his silence on the Bexar County DA's involvement with the Wren Collective. Why he's uncomfortable that he was dragged into the mess.
Plus, a vacation nightmare. A woman from San Antonio almost dies in Mexico, and her boyfriend says things turned south after a drink.
Are you ready to stand up for some local kids? A successful program needs volunteers, and they're ready to read you in.
I was yelling for Rachel to wake up, and then she wasn't waking up. And so I get up and I turn her over, and her eyes were rolling back.
And that was just the beginning of the nightmare that a couple from San Antonio is experiencing still to this day. You're about to meet Anthony Grigsby.
He and his girlfriend, that's her right there, Rachel Villarreal, should have been home about 3 weeks ago. Instead, they're stuck in Mexico City for what was supposed to be a fun vacation.
Right now, Rachel's in the hospital fighting for her life after Anthony says she was drugged while they were out sightseeing. Now, Anthony is praying that he and Rachel return home soon. January 14th marks the last time Anthony Grigsby saw his girlfriend smile. Anthony and Rachel Villarreal were enjoying a colorful boat ride at Lago Huetzalin in Mexico City. When they arrived at La Isla de las Muñecas, they saw people drinking, so they went to a stand and bought alcohol.
They came and presented us with a tray of 4 shots, 2 for me, 2 for her. I'm taking a picture on Instagram, and then we proceed to take them.
Anthony says after that, they walked around and took in the sights. Everything seemed fine until Rachel began to feel sick.
She's kind of complaining of like nausea, stomach aches.
And the symptoms intensified. The next day, Anthony says he felt sick. Both thought they were battling food poisoning, but things took a turn for the worse the next day when Anthony says he woke up and found Rachel on the floor unconscious.
I get up and I turn her over, and her eyes were rolling back. That's when I see like 3 large welts on her head.
So Anthony called an ambulance. That was January 16th. Rachel's been in the hospital since.
She nearly died. Her kidneys were shutting down.
After days in the ICU, doctors told Anthony that Rachel had neurological deterioration, usually associated with strokes. But Anthony's biggest shock came when doctors performed a toxicology screening on Rachel. Results showed that she had meth and ecstasy in her system. After speaking with doctors and retracing their steps, Anthony says this is the last time he remembers them being fine. So he suspects the alcohol they drank that night was tainted. It's still hard for him to believe.
This unfortunately happened to us, and this is our story.
Thankfully, Rachel is gaining consciousness. Now, Anthony says he's focused on making sure they both make it home to San Antonio safely.
I just want people to be aware that these things happen and that they need to take a lot of extra precaution when they are traveling out of the country.
Now, a few hours ago, we spoke with Anthony. He told us that Rachel is finally walking. We're so happy for them. He's hoping to get Rachel transferred to a hospital in San Antonio later on this week. So here's the thing. You're watching this and you're probably thinking this is crazy. Well, the story is really not that uncommon. Back in 2017, the U.S. State Department warned travelers going to Mexico about tainted alcohol after a number of tourists said they got sick or they blacked out after consuming alcohol.
To other news tonight, an 18-year-old man took his own life moments after being cornered by U.S. Marshals. That teenager had 2 active murder warrants and was the target of those investigators at a house happened near Cat Mountain and Bobcat Pass just a few hours ago. When marshals tried to go into that home and arrest him, they heard a gunshot and backed off. Investigators then flew a drone into the house, which showed them that the teen had shot himself. We're not exactly sure which murders the warrants were related to or if they were murders in San Antonio or not. But an officer on the scene did say those crimes were recent. No investigators or marshals were injured in the incident. The teen was alone in the house during that time. We're now working to learn more about the suspect as well as the warrants he was wanted on. Stay tuned.
Nearly a year after a crash shut down a pedestrian bridge over in Westwood Square, city crews are finally working on removing that eyesore from Castroville Road. This is one of several stories that we profiled last fall in our Westwood Square edition of Know My Neighborhood. People had to use a temporary crosswalk in place of the defunct bridge. Some neighbors told KSAT they just didn't feel safe using that crosswalk and felt that the remaining ramps were still a hazard. Now, once crews finish removing what's left of the bridge, they're going to install a four-way traffic signal. But until then, neighbors can expect some heavy traffic because the road's going to be cut down to one lane each way while construction is going on.
The ramps to nowhere, no more. Well, tonight, the Bexar County Sheriff, in his own words, on District Attorney Joe Gonzalez's involvement with the Wren Collective. This
is a story we've been looking into. The Austin-based criminal justice reform group and its founders' conversations with the DA's office since last week. That is when Sheriff Javier Salazar sent Gonzalez a letter about being mentioned in those messages. Salazar is referenced several times in the 200-plus pages of the messages that were obtained by KSAT.
That includes texts between Gonzalez, his first assistant, and the Wren Collective's founder, Jessica Brand. In one of those messages, the DA goes into detail about a conversation he had with the sheriff. Today, the sheriff says he has spoken to the district attorney about those messages.
He doesn't feel that he was acting as my attorney in that moment, and so there was no necessarily attorney-client privilege protection of any statements made there. However, with that being said, I reiterated to him that, well, I still considered that a private conversation that I just didn't appreciate being shared with somebody that I have no clue who they are. And to be quite frank, some of the things that I saw on the coverage that you all provided on KSAT really worried me about this organization.
Salazar's attorney also sent a cease and desist letter to the Wren Collective. Last week, we asked the Wren Collective for a comment. We haven't heard back. You can find all of our reporting, including the DA's interview with KSAT on the Wren Collective and also a closer look at their messages. We have all of that for you right now on KSAT.com.
It's still a lot of questions, but we are learning more information about a street takeover that happened Saturday night in San Antonio. Police and DPS rounded up 10 suspects, 6 cars at an unknown location. That's one of the questions we have. Some of the charges filed in the takeover include unlawful carrying, racing on a highway, and a myriad of other traffic violations. Street takeovers plagued cities all over Texas last year. That drove state lawmakers to outlaw them the last legislative session. Still working to learn the names of the suspects and figure out exactly where this takeover happened.
Okay, this was the last day that Texans could register to vote in next month's state primary election. So here are the dates that we want you to mark down. To apply for a mail-in ballot, you have until February 23rd. Also, you can vote early from February 20th through March 1st. Election day is going to be March 5th. Now, we list a lot of voting information in all of the places where you can vote early on our website, KSAT.com.
To the courthouse now. Opening statements heard in Felix Jesus Hernandez's murder trial today. If you remember, he's charged in the shooting death of 42-year-old Victoria Stampley back in January of 2022. Testimony expected to last most of this week, and of course, we'll provide updates as they come on air and online. If guilty, Hernandez faces life in prison.
Now for a look at today's big headlines in your Nightbeat News Flash. Leaders in the House say that lawmakers are going to vote on its impeachment resolution against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas tomorrow. Mayorkas has been under intense scrutiny from Republicans over what they're calling crimes related to the crisis at the southern border. Now, Democrats are arguing there's just not enough evidence for an impeachment. If he's removed, Mayorkas would be the first cabinet official to be impeached in almost 150 years. A jury spent 6 hours deliberating today in the case of the Michigan school shooter's mother. Jennifer Crumley is facing charges connected to her son Ethan Crumley's deadly rampage that left 4 dead inside of a Michigan high school back in 2021. The first of its kind case is really going to test the limits of how far prosecutors can go to hold parents responsible for their children's crimes. And deliberations are going to pick up again tomorrow morning. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash. Switching gears now, you hear the music, you see the graphic. Come on, there's only one question we're going to ask you, and that's San Antonio. Are you ready to rodeo? Yeah, crews laid the groundwork for the next 3 weeks of festivities over at the Frost Bank Center. And you see the dirt right there? It's recycled. It's actually been used in every rodeo dating back to 1988. Yeah, crews blend in sand and other materials to make sure that the surface is just perfect for all of the rodeo athletes.
And remember, KSAT will show you the rodeo's opening night of competition live right here on Thursday. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock, followed by an hour-long rodeo special at 9 before the night beat starts at 10. You can tune in on air on our website or any of our streaming platforms. Hope you do. By the way, we've got a complete breakdown of transportation, tickets, music acts, and more on our website right now. Where to park, that's a big one. Just scan this QR code on your screen to find out everything you need to know before you go rodeo.
I see what you did. Yeah. Coming up, lifelong learning. That is the power of reading, the success story of a local after-school program, and also how you can get involved.
Last month, every SAISD school was shut down because classrooms couldn't stay warm. The district's top leader promised transparency as the key to ensuring a district-wide disaster never happens again. So KSAT is testing that promise. What we found out. Remember when every single San Antonio ISD school was shuttered for 2 days after district-wide heating problems last month? Well, we went looking for answers. After those closures, District Superintendent Jaime Aquino actually stressed the need for transparency to make sure this kind of thing never happens again. So in the spirit of transparency, KSAT requested internal emails and texts between Aquino and district employees. We're being told those records will come at a price. For $2,319, the district would process our request for that specific information. The district is asking for that full payment while maintaining the ability to ask state officials, the Attorney General's office, to not release those records to us. More than 1,000 emails could be uncovered if the request goes through. So while the SAISD superintendent may be talking transparency, it comes with a price tag. The district told KSAT tonight if it does seek a ruling and is told to withhold the records, the amount spent on those records would be reimbursed.
A local program that helps kids read has been successful, but here's the thing. In order to keep it that way, it needs your help. The Night Team's Patty Santos explains how you can help students become better readers.
Was Froggy's mother's birthday.
Since we first told you about Harper's Chapel Ministries program back in October,
we average about 30 kids daily.
The free after-school program has grown in popularity, expanding from 1 to 3 days a week. Kids are fed, given a safe place to hang out, and tutored. There you go. But volunteer Denise Santana has noticed their reading skills are lagging.
I have 6th graders reading at 1st grade level. I have 8th graders reading at 1st grade level. So we're really in need of somebody that can come and work with these kids.
Students come from Fox Tech, Lanier and Jefferson High Schools, Rhodes Middle School, and Fenwick Academy, all campuses with lower than a B under the Texas Education Agency's accountability ratings. Pastor Vincent Robinson says low self-esteem is part of the problem.
What do you see in these kids when they come here, when they maybe they're challenged to push themselves?
I mean, sometimes they'll just cry. You know, they'll just cry because of the struggles. And with those struggles come bullying.
The kids live in one of San Antonio's most impoverished zip codes, 78207.
We have the highest dropout rate.
Volunteer Elda Bustamante says it just takes 15 to 30 minutes to make an impact. And she's hoping some of our viewers can commit to consistently show up for these kids.
When you show an interest, they in return, begin to care and have an interest about themselves. If she believes in me, then I can believe in me.
It's really showing up for them over and over and over and over again.
Patty Santos.
Letting them know that we care about them.
KSAT 12 News.
Here's the thing, though. Volunteers are going to be required to undergo a background check. If you want information, if you'd like to volunteer, you can visit the bottom of the harperscbc.com website, or you could just go to our website, ksat.com. We have a link for you right there.
Your chance to show up for some kids that really would appreciate the help.
Yeah.
All right, live look outside right now, 53 degrees out there, and it was a windy Sunday.
Oh, okay. I know why you're saying that. I was driving on 87, and Adam, it's what you said would happen.
What?
I mean, no, the garbage cans were strewn about.
Yes.
I mean, it became a traffic hazard, too.
No, I know what you mean, especially, on those county highways and county roads.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. And our maximum gust yesterday at the airport was 49 degrees. That's measured at San Antonio International. Luckily, that wind is behind us. We've got another cool morning and comfortable afternoon. Really, the next couple of days will be that way. Foggy mornings start on Wednesday. That's a little weather hiccup we're going to have this week. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Each of those mornings, there could be some issues and delays in the morning commutes just from some fog. Probably pretty brief fog, though, especially on Wednesday. By the weekend, rain chances are back. We're not talking anything significant here. We're looking at 20 to 30% chance Friday through the weekend and even on into Monday of next week. Not an active weather pattern, just a bit of an unsettled weather pattern. So here's the big picture, and we really want to look off to the west here. We've got this bump in our upper level flow, a ridge, gives us our sunshine, sunny days. It's going to be the same again tomorrow. But off to the west, this is where we have this dip in the upper level flow that's moving into the western U.S. and even an atmospheric river that's coming onshore into California, providing continuous flooding rain in Southern California and mountain snowfall, of course, in their higher elevations thereafter. This dip in the upper level flow, that's going to push eastward. It's going to break, our ridge is going to break down a bit, and our weather pattern's going to shift. It's not going to become active necessarily, just a little unsettled, if you will. We've got this flow aloft coming off the Pacific, and that flow aloft will have little bits of energy embedded within it. And a good way to look at it, too, is just by looking at the jet stream winds by Saturday. This jet stream streaming off the Pacific, and within it, we have little ripples in the flow and little bits of energy that can sometimes cause rain. And if not rain, clouds. So expect, I think, a decent amount of cloud cover starting Wednesday, lasting through the weekend, and even into the early part of next week. Not fantastic rain chances, but at least something possible by Friday through the weekend. Speaking of rainfall, we're above average. This is good to see. We haven't had many above average months here in San Antonio. I think we had 2 above average months for rain over about a 2-year span. Anyway, 0.84 so far this month. I know the month is early. Half an inch above average, but since January 1st, 7.5 inches, and that's more than 5 inches above average. Here's the newest drought monitor, but I want to show you how much rain we picked up Friday night on top of the drought-stricken areas. Pleasanton, 0.88. At the airport in town, 0.84. Gonzales, 1.25. We don't even have a drought. Hallettsville to Yorktown to Cuero, where we really need the rain, parts of the hill country, and of course in and around San Antonio and Bexar County. We were 50 this morning, 66 by the afternoon. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit cooler in the morning. Some mid to upper 30s in the hill country, low to mid 40s around San Antonio. But by the noon hour, we're already at 60 degrees and then a high temperature right near 70 for everybody across the board. And mornings will get warmer as the humidity increases the middle of the week. Mornings will get warmer as well.
Adam, did you know about Stephania's garbage can catastrophe? Did you know about that?
Mine. It was just all over 87.
It sounds like
you were driving.
It sounds like a Nintendo video game, dodging garbage.
I know exactly.
No, it was. I mean, it was. Yeah.
It's modern day.
Moving on, let's talk about the Spurs.
Yes.
So Pop really made the Spurs practice hard today.
Yeah, because they have 3 days in between games. And also, once they start the rodeo road trip, they're not going to have any time to practice. So why not put the Spurs through a hard practice today, right? And in high school basketball, Clark is all set to defend its Class 6A state championship. Coming up.
Just got to be prepared to pack a ton and be ready to shop if you need to.
Doug and the Spurs are about to leave for a very long road trip in big board sports. Sitting at 10-40, the Spurs held practice today before leaving for the 9-game rodeo road trip this season. Now they'll travel to the East Coast, north of the border, the West Coast, and points in between before they return home on February 29th. They have 3 days in between games, so Pop made them work very hard this morning.
Yeah, it was a good one. We needed it. We had the day off. Obviously, want to get things back on track for the Rodeo road trip. So it's a good, hard day of practice, but I think we needed that. Yeah, it's nice. Whenever you can get these breaks in the NBA, you got to take advantage of them, and we certainly did that. Had a Sunday off, and then back to the road tomorrow. And you know, it's a crazy month, as we all know. So it's gonna take a lot of focus, and I think it'll bring our group closer together, being on the road for a long period of time.
Spurs will leave for Miami tomorrow to face the Heat Wednesday night at 6:30.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones needs to hire a defensive coordinator now that Dan Quinn has left the head coach, the Washington Commanders. But some are wondering if Jerry will have a tough time finding his DC when you consider that head coach Mike McCarthy is entering the final year of his deal. Now, if Jerry doesn't renew Mike's contract after next season, that could mean a complete coaching overhaul, not much job security for the next DC. Now, here's what Jerry said in response to that.
Oh, I don't anticipate that being an issue at all.
Why not?
Not at all. I mean, I don't know why, because they, if they take the job, they'll want to be the coordinator of the Cowboys. They're looking at that right there, and all that goes with that. And if they're aspiring, they know that there's a chance to be a head coach someplace, because the one that just left is. So it's a good opportunity for them.
Jerry says he's already interviewing D.C. candidates to replace Quinn. The NFL Network is reporting Jerry will meet with former Commanders head coach Ron Rivera for the opening. Wade Phillips and the Brahmas will open up training camp late this month before kicking off play in the United Football League. The USFL and the XFL merged to form the UFL, and today the league released its 40-game regular season schedule that kicks next month. The Brahmas are bringing in former Bernie quarterback Quentin Dormady, and here's what Wade said about him a couple weeks back when he stopped by KSAT.
Yeah, Quentin unfortunately played on a team that didn't have much offensive line, but if you look at last season, he beat DC, who was undefeated at the time, threw for 300-something yards in that game, and then he also beat Arlington, who won it all. So two of the games he won, and he didn't get to play the whole season in Orlando. So two of the games he won, he was outstanding in. So we're looking forward to him really contributing.
So the Brahmas will open the regular season at home Sunday, March 31st with the D.C. Defenders at 11 a.m. Week 2 is our first road game. That's on April 6th at the Memphis Showboats at 11 in the morning. And they'll close out the regular season in Week 10 on Saturday, June 1st at the St. Louis Battlehawks. The conference championships are June 8th and the 9th, with the UFL championship set for Sunday, June 16th. For the Brahmas' complete schedule, you can head to the sports page at KSAT.com. The Clark Cougars were motivated by losses after the break. This afternoon, we took a trip to Clark High School to hang out with the defending Class 6A state champions for girls basketball. The Clark Cougars have had a target on their backs this season as they look to defend their state hardware, but that didn't stop them from winning District 28 6A for the 6th straight year with one game left in the regular season. Now, as they look ahead to the playoffs with a 28-2 record, we asked them what's helped them stay consistent this season.
We had the loss against Brandeis, and we needed that one to keep ourselves humble and low. This is going to be hard again. We need to be back where we were.
Those early losses taught us lessons early on. We'd rather lose earlier than later. So keeping that in the back of our mind and using that as motivation so we don't feel that way again. That's what Natalie said. I would agree with her on that.
Early on when we lost in that tournament, it was a good switch that we had to flip real quick so we could get back into our winning mindset and just fix the little things that cost us that loss. That loss is in our brain, so we know what the little things to fix on later in the games.
Good luck to Clark as they chase back-to-back state championships.
Which is very hard to do.
Indeed.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry.
They're almost there. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Cool morning. Low to mid 40s to start today, but by the afternoon, short sleeve weather, sunny near 70, this lack of humidity. These are the days we earned over the hottest summer on record in San Antonio. Enjoy it. And then as we get later into the week, warmer mornings and some morning fog.
Yeah, this is perfect weather. Not complaining at all.
No.
Thank you.
It's great.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Have a great night.
We'll see you tomorrow.